Hey, welcome to Wise Guys BBQ Podcast again. I'm Charlie, the left side, and my best friend here, Vin Picaro, the strong side, and we've got some more good food information for you guys. We did a great cook today. We're going to talk about it. We got some little goodies here we're going to talk about. And so how's things going, big fella?
Yeah, no, great. Excellent. We had a super cook day today. As people haven't figured out yet, Wednesday's our day. We cook and podcast on Wednesdays for the later on in the week. So we got some great stuff coming out. And you folks have been fantastic, challenging us. I think we got a paella that we have to create an Italian abomination to, and then get it out there. So we're thinking about that. Anybody that can help us, any Italian chefs that's made an Italian paella before, please call
if you
us.
could throw some barbecue in with it too, that'd be great. So not too much of an ask.
800-555-WISE GUYS.
Help us.
Exactly.
1-800-HELP-US.
Exactly. But it's been fantastic. We had a great weekend. I kind of kicked back a little bit, recovered from a long week of setting up studios. Can't wait to continue to show you guys the evolution of the studios coming along. Wine cellar was delivered today.
Boy, was I happy about that, because we need to get back on the wine kick again. I miss that.
Yeah, well,
My liver misses it.
Wife pulls up and she's like, your wine rack is in the garage.
It's in the driveway.
Can you get it inside the house, please? So yeah, we're going to have we're going to get installing on that right after we're done with this video. We'll get that thing up and running for you guys. That's going to be fun. Yeah, so it's been a lot of moving parts, but we love all of it. St. Patty's Day is coming up. March Madness is coming up.
Yeah. We're gonna have a lot of interesting stuff going on.
Yeah, so might as well preview a couple of things that we do have coming up in the next couple of weeks. Our good buddy Ricky Pasquale from Q Shanty Barbecue has
Rico.
He just said, "Look, I'm in. I want to do a tell-all cook on one of my meats. You guys get to pick, and I want to just break it all down, give it to your audience, let the audience go wild." So we picked ribs. So he's coming this weekend, this Sunday, I believe.
Awesome.
Yeah, he's bringing his Humphrey with him. He had the Humphreys last week. What a great episode. They were so great. Chad and Nicole, thank you very much again.
That's a great show.
For doing that with us, for us, to us. We enjoyed that. We're really looking forward to hearing more about your products this year as they come out, as well as your 35 competitions.
That's crazy. We're gonna follow along with them too.
Yeah,
and check in on them throughout the season.
Absolutely.
See how they're doing.
Yeah, barbecuedata.com. We'll get some information from there, and we'll ask those guys.
Awesome
maybe they
site.
can give us little snips of what's good or bad about that. And you guys follow along too on their Facebook page for sure. But they're sweethearts, and Rico's bringing down his Humphrey smoker to do those ribs for us.
Great follow up
on the 9th. So that's going to be good fun, and that's super. And the other wonderful thing that we're looking to dabble in is I don't know if anybody in our audience has ever been to a Fogo de Chao.
I have.
Yeah,
on
we
several
have.
occasions.
We have. You're right, in a couple of different. I think they have over 100 restaurants now nationwide, and I've only been to 2. One in White Plains, New York, and one in Providence, Rhode Island. I want to get to more, but we're going to go down and we're going to do a podcast with a few of the managers there and find out about all their great meats that they're cooking and how they're cooking them and how they're presenting them, how they're cutting them. That's the amazing part about that Brazilian cook, is not just the meats that they're using and preparing, but how they're actually cutting it for their customers. So we're going to see. We're going to take a ride there. I mean, maybe if we get lucky, we'll even do it inside the restaurant. I might be pushing the envelope a little too much there, but that would be cool. So that's coming up, and that'll be some good fun. And what else? What's going on in the barbecue news? I know there was a Houston rodeo competition.
Yep, and evidently nobody from our neck of the woods placed in that competition. But I assume Houston, Texas. That's a pretty good size competition.
Yeah, there's real pros there. Actually, what happened was there was like a hybrid team that was put together for New England Chunky Barbecue.
That's right. I remember that.
Did a team with Googly Goo. Top Gun and Faded all got together and put together a team. And, I think they were just a little outshined, but hey, so glad that they stepped up and gave it a shot because, that's a big deal.
You put together an all-star team like that too. There's a little bit of a learning curve there, working together and knowing each other and what you need to do. So yeah, you're going up against some teams that have been together and for years and
there's a nuance, right?
Yeah, sure, and you can expect that.
Yeah, totally.
But I'm sure they put out a fine product.
Yep. And so now we're getting ready for St. Patty's Day.
Yep.
Tommy the Butcher is trying to do an Italian spin on a traditional Irish boiled dinner. I think the only thing he got in there was a Peroni beer, maybe. It's the only thing we could figure out.
Italian.
Well, he was grasping at straws, and he was out there. He was doing it. I had said maybe he should have, because so guys, we already made it. We already ate it. That's why we're already green. I think the best part was so after he did his brine, he did the brine, left it overnight, took his brisket that was brined, and he boiled it down with, what did he call it? A bouquet, blah, 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 in French.
Some fancy cooking name.
But it was a cheesecloth rolled up with some goodness in there, some love.
Yes.
And that went in, and that made an unbelievable broth that, people were commenting. So, all right.
I think even he was surprised how good that broth came out.
Yeah. No, the whole thing.
Yeah.
The brisket was not salty, right? So he did a salt and celery powder brine, which keeps you away from all that, frog salt and all that chemicals and things you don't want in there. And that helps, number one. Number two, the time that he took to, it was I think 250 or 275 Dutch oven cook, 3 hours. It just took all the salt out of the meat. There was no salt at all. But what I found amazing, the cabbage and the potatoes and the carrots all had this super buttery taste to it. Now, I cooked right there and filmed them right there all the way through. And I can attest that he did not put one piece of any kind of oil or margarine or butter in that thing at all. It was just the fats from the brisket that was bringing out that.
It was the fat definitely the fat from the brisket. Yeah.
So that's what I said. I said, Tommy, thank you. So Tommy, if you took this, right, thickened it up a little bit, chopped those vegetables, you could have dropped this over like a Dutch noodle, like he did with his
the white noodles
pot roast. And he could have had an Irish boiled dinner pasta.
Yep.
There you go. Done and Italian and
we always do our best thinking after we've already done it.
Yes.
But that happens.
Well, that's why you're going to do it again and you don't learn. Happens. But there are Irish people rolling in the graves right now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, folks.
It was literally, listen, when it came out, we all kind of looked at it. The color was amazing. It was a deep pink. Usually you go out on St. Patty's Day, whatever you have, wherever bar you go to, they have, corned beef and cabbage on the menu for that day. But the corned beef is really like a light pink. It tends to be a little rubbery, and I don't know if that's because they're cooking so much of it. But this was a nice deep pink, and it looked like it was going to be tough. It looked like you were going to need a knife to cut it.
Right.
But you took a bite of that. You just cut it with the fork. Once it got in your mouth, it just broke apart perfectly. Very tender, very delicious.
Yeah, I could imagine at a restaurant, if they're trying to serve the masses, they're probably cooking it a lot hotter than what we did. We took 3 hours. They probably banging these things out in an hour and a half at 375, 400 when we took the time to really get it to be fork tender. It was great. It was actually, that was the big ball busting event today. Was Tommy was like, yeah, I'm going to put these potatoes, is almost softball sized potatoes. That'll be in 10 minutes. I'm like, yeah, 10 hours. I said, we'll be here tomorrow tasting this thing. But he went another.
Should have cut them. Turned out he didn't have to.
He didn't have to. We had another 5 minutes. It was 15 minutes, but they were delicious. They were great. So that was a great cook. We'll have it on here before St. Patty's Day for sure. And there you go. And we'll have to watch that video while we're having a beer to my buddy Charlie over here's birthday.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just kept looking at that corned beef and say, what a sandwich that would make out of that meat that came out. Nice, didn't fall apart. Nice.
So that's what's amazing because,
awesome.
like, when you get that, they cut it thin. And they don't usually use a machine. They usually use a knife, like Katz does, their pastrami and their
the
corned
deli.
beef.
Yeah. They're masters at it, though. I mean, they're just like...
They're doing it all day long, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, it's really... That would be fantastic.
Everything's like quarter inch on the spot.
Yeah, exactly.
Very good. Let me do that again. That's how they cut it at Katz.
That's it. All right. So what are we doing with this booze here? We doing?
Oh no, we got some goodies here. We were talking about the Humphreys, and of course, like the day we met them, I had to order their good stuff, some of their rub. And they were on their website. They talk about their barbecue crack seasoning. So,
you got the crack?
Me being an ex-crackhead, I had to get it.
Nice.
And it's very unusual. It's obviously they don't give away all the seasoning, but it's a lot of garlic and a lot of pure maple sugar in here, and it what do you call it? Caramelizes on the meat, the sugar. When you get to a certain heat, it liquefies a little bit and gives it a nice flavor. It's very barbecue crack, very good on chicken. Bacon, you put it on bacon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you want to put some on your bacon. A
Pork
nice
belly.
flavor.
Yeah,
Yep. And then they list some other things they use on baked potatoes, butter vegetables, or whatever.
Cool.
So it's a very, very versatile spice. And I gave you another one.
Yeah, divine bovine.
Yeah.
Robust, bold flavor. I can't read all the stuff.
Yeah, it's very small.
But this is, I don't know if it's designed for a certain, there's a cow in here, so I'm thinking this is
divine bovine. That's for the meat. That's for the red meat.
The
right
red
there.
meat. So
Definitely.
this is going on the brisket for
Definitely.
sure. Yeah, this is good. I mean, it's amazing that they have time to keep up with all this stuff. I mean, right, besides smokers and accessory gadgets and now
it's crazy.
rubs and sauces. They're some
that's
busy
kind of a
people.
pretty massive operation up there with all the stuff they got going on.
Well, yeah, I would say yes, because everything that comes out of there is very high quality, right? It's not just them throwing their names on all kinds of stuff. They're making it. They're doing it. So God bless. Good luck, guys. Have a great season. And
we'll give this a good run right here.
Yeah, we're going to, anytime you guys want to do a little unboxing on the show, send us something you'd like us to introduce to our audience. We'd love to do an unboxing for you. If it's a smoke or a rub, we'll actually get it on a cook and we'll give you our opinions of things. Not that you need our opinion, but you might like it. I don't know. It might be good.
We have an opinion.
Yeah, we do have it.
We do.
have an opinion.
And some people like it, and some people don't.
Right.
And then our good friend up north, Ellen Stancliffe.
She's a sweetheart, isn't she?
She always thinks of us when she's shopping, and she's got us some Godfather bourbon fudge, and it is fantastic. Ellen, just so you know, we had some today, and it was really good. Yeah. And then of course
it tasted like bourbon. I don't know how that.
It had a nice little.
Don't know how they do it.
Flavor, and then
they must know Willy Wonka.
I guess
I don't know how they do it.
And she also
Schnozzberries taste like Schnozzberry.
I know it.
I had to get it in there. Under the wire. I had to get it in there.
You've seen Super Troopers, obviously.
That's it.
What?
So, Super
And then
Troopers.
she sent us you never seen that movie? You need to watch Super Troopers.
Okay.
The beginning of that movie is like as good as there is in Hollywood. Then it goes downhill from there. But I digress. She also sent us some Jim Beam honey, so when we finish eating all the fudge out of this decanter here, we can load this
sugar.
up.
Yeah,
we can load this up and just send our diabetes
through the roof.
right through the roof.
Right. No, we are not shy, folks. Our doctors hate us. They come at us with pitchforks. But thank you, Alan, and thank you, Chip, for sharing all this.
Yeah, no, of course. And she actually sent another thing we need to have an unboxing for, because she said we can't open it until the podcast before St. Paddy's Day, which will be next week.
Oh, yeah.
So I've got a kind of a big box in my car that we need to open in front of everybody.
Oh, I'm excited about that.
I don't know if she's going to play a joke.
Can I borrow you? Can I get your keys for a minute? I got to shut your lights off. Right. There's like an inflatable.
It's not locked.
Inflatable leprechaun.
Yeah,
or something.
you know.
Nah, she wouldn't do that to you.
No, not as far as I know.
Not as far as you can throw her. But so for you wise guys, folks out there that are true believers and followers, and especially the folks that were here for day one, I would like to do a little save the date. I'm not going to let you know what's going on that date, but I think I need you to save a date and I'm going to get some actual invitations out very shortly, next week. June 21st, before the 4th of July of this year, we're going to have a little announcement, little surprise for you faithful. So please, if you got some time, I got to check how that conflicts with any competitions, Charlie. I know it doesn't conflict with the CBA states, but for sure.
Well, I'm sure there's going to be some people competing somewhere, but
Right. Not everybody will be able to make it. But if you got it's a Saturday, it'll be in the afternoon hours. Please save some, block that time off for the Wise Guys BBQ. You'll enjoy the information as soon as we get it out to you. And
if they do miss it, we will have video evidence of what happened, and we will share it with you.
I guess you can call it video evidence.
That's what it's going to be.
So, speaking of June and CBA Rhode Island State competition on the 27th, I believe it's 27th, 26th and 27th of June, is the first leg of the New England Triple Crown for the CBA.
Yeah, that's a big thing, man.
Yeah. Mike Piera and Big Dan from Big Dog Sauce is sponsoring that event. It's going to be fantastic. Basically, anybody who's competing in those CBA competitions, if they compete in all three, they're going to take a cumulative scores for those teams, and the top team is going to be the champion of the first Triple Crown, New England Triple Crown for CBA. This is the first. These are all new competitions for CBA and for New England. So Dan and Mike and Matt thought it would be awesome if they just kicked it off with a Triple Crown. I think it's a great idea. So we look to hear more about that. Teams are starting to sign up for it. We heard from, I think they're from Houston, Pit Life Barbecue.
Yes, they were talking about it.
Yeah, they were. People, it's funny. People go look at their schedule this time of year and they put it together and they pick, everybody's interested. Like, what's going on in New England? They hear about the great teams we have up here. They want to get involved with something. So then as soon as they find out where it is, the next thing they go is look at the weather. Right. So now I know Texas has been getting some cold weather this winter for sure, things they're not used to, but they might be in the 20s and they're looking at our 4s and our 6s and they're like, oh no,
let's not go there.
It's not occasionally cold. It's really cold. So, but they're still intrigued. I mean, of course, this is, I think, June, July.
It'll be fine by then, folks. Don't worry.
Yeah. You don't have to worry about the frost by then, we hope. So yeah, we're looking forward to that, and we're actually going to have a show with Matt and Dan doing a little more promotional events on that. I talked to Matt today, and he told me I was trying to get a short list of maybe some teams that were signing up, and he said signups just opened up for all of the CBA tournaments, so they're just getting a handful of people signing up now. I would suspect in the next 2 to 3 weeks, right when March is over, they'll probably have their full slate of competitors, and I want to, that's probably when we should have them on the show and find out who's coming, because that's always
like a preview, preview episode for that.
Well, that's what's great about having that alliance, because you're getting truly. I mean, if you go look at the website, there's like 60 different competitions: Texas, Rhode Island, Texas, Vermont, Texas, New Hampshire. But it's cool because you get to see and see teams you hear about, meet teams you never knew from around the nation, rather than just having to constantly. You go to these local competitions. It's the Northeast, goats. And then it's the people that, go to those events once or, do 1 or 2 a year and go to those events. This is truly an opportunity to see folks that are doing 15, 20, 30 competitions a year and from Texas, and they got their shit tied down, folks. They know what they're doing. It's fun. It's a great event.
And we until we got into this, we didn't realize how, well, I certainly did. Maybe you got a better handle on it than me, but I just didn't realize how many competition barbecue teams there are out there. I mean, I should have known that, Texas being Texas, there'd be so many, but it's all over the country, man. There's just so many teams we never heard about. And we get, up here, we're starting to get a little feel for the local guys and, getting kind of a relationship with them. But yeah, like some of the teams out of Tennessee and down now the Carolinas, certainly, just so many competitors.
Yep.
And, dude, like Vin was saying, they're talking like 20 to 30 shows, 20 to 30 competitions a year.
And what we learned last year is that, you go to some competitions and because they're either for, donatable causes or they're not sanctioned events, you get competitors that only do that event.
Yep.
We went to the MCO, the Marshall Field cook-off last year.
Mm-hmm.
Great event, 40, 45 competitors. And I got to say, maybe 15 were the New England crew, right? Mm-hmm. And the other 25 were just folks that only do that event. They come out for this one event because they raise a lot of money.
Because it's a cause that they believe in and they want to contribute.
And they serve some really good ribs there too. So it's a lot of fun. And it's like you meet these people and it's like, I never heard of you. Where do you compete? We don't. What do you mean you don't? And they have all the cookers. They have all the tents. They have all the collaborations.
We believe in this cause and we come out every year and
they
support.
do that one. They do that one and they're done.
What's that one you went to? Cora Cares.
Now that was a little different, right? Because that was a KCBS sanctioned event, and actually it had an auto to a jack, and that
that's a big event.
That's a big event, right? That's put on by some great people
major.
Up there. Yep. Kathy Trainer runs that, and the Shriners is one of and the Humphreys are the supporters of that. They do some great work to raise some money there too. It's a 2-day event, but they don't have competition on both days. It's really, I mentioned it to you. I don't know if my listeners know. So basically what happens is the first day, it's the rib auction.
Right.
So they have all the competitors cook ribs, and you can cook, I think there's a minimum you have to cook. I don't know if it's X amount. I'll say it's 15 pounds of ribs you have to cook. But then some of these folks just go bazonkers.
Yeah, it was like 4. You had to do like 4 racks or something like that. And some of these people were doing 12.
Yep.
15 racks.
And then at the end, people come in, and depending on who cooked them, you get to put your hand up, bid on them, and people buy them, and they make excuse me, a rib jumped in my throat. And they make a lot of money, and that's a lot of fun because what you end up getting is you get some competitors want to taste the other competitors' cooking. So they're over there and they're outbidding each other, right? They're at 200, 300, 400 just to buy another competitor's rib just so they can taste it. Otherwise, you don't get to eat their cooking.
Cutthroat.
Oh yeah,
Cutthroat.
And it's fun. So that, and then the next day is the actual competition.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Cora Kids, I believe they have the kids competition.
Kids Q, yep.
Kids Q, which is getting huge throughout the country now.
One of our listeners mentioned that. I'll ask our might tonight. They said it might be good to have a show with a Kids Q. We do maybe a virtual call in with 1 or 2, or we could do like quick.
Are we on?
There's no helping him. We could do like 2 or 3 different teams, 10-minute intervals, and just run them back to back. It might be fun. There are some great Kid Q's teams. It's a great nuance to this. What's going on, right? The kids love to cook. They cook with their known partners, which are their parents. Sometimes, other times, like in Cora Kiers, for example, they have other kids who might be Shriner recipients, and they end up getting paired up with different teams, and they just have a blast. So they have an ancillary contest. I think last year was anything hot dog, right? And some of these hot dogs that these kids made, there was an octopus hot dog. It was fantastic. I think it was octopus. So basically, they put a bunch of holes in a hot dog and they put pasta in it.
Oh, so it wasn't real octopus.
No, it was. It looked just like an octopus. They had another one, and they put googly eyes on the thing.
Nice.
They were really creative, and they were good, and they were fun. So
some they even have they even have these days barbecue teams at some of the schools. The public schools will have a team.
Barbecue. Well, this is Barbecue Academy.
It's crazy.
It is crazy because I was listening to another podcast, and they were talking just about this, and they were saying how successful that these shows are becoming and these competitions are becoming. But then they were saying how nervous these 16, 17, 18-year-olds coming out of high school who can't or basically, participate long enough, right? They're getting aged out of the juniors or the high school environment, and now they have to go cook against the real people.
Grown-ass people.
Exactly. And they're scared. They're nervous as hell. And a lot of people are saying, you're crazy. Your food's delicious.
Yeah.
You kill it. Why couldn't you compete with a 30, 40, 50-year-old? Get out there and do it. So, yeah, no, those are good. I think it's, I forget what channel it was on. It was on one of those DIY channels. It was like Barbecue High School or Barbecue.
No, it was on, it wasn't YouTube. It was, I think it was the Food Channel.
No, it was a flour. It was like Marigolds or something. It was the name of the show. Marigolds Network, and they had Barbecue USA or something.
Yeah.
Barbecue High, and they had,
and every week they got a different assignment, and they had to cook. And
yep,
it wasn't Food Network.
No.
Food Channel.
No.
Netflix.
Marigold.
Could be Netflix.
Marigold. Isn't Marigold Network?
Marigold is not a network.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Not on this side of testosterone, isn't. Marigold Network. What are you watching the Marigold Network for?
The man who wanted to would you say teabag me in the middle of my wife's speech? Barbecue. BBQ
I said sack tap,
Sack tap.
not teabag. There's a difference.
All right, maybe. It's Barbecue High. Magnolia. What did I say? Marigold? Magnolia Network, right
Okay,
there.
and you know what? Shame on me. I've heard of it.
What?
You're right. I've heard of the Magnolia Network. You're right.
Yeah, it used to be a DIY
I'm
thing,
mocking you, and I know about
but
it.
it wasn't Marigold. I said it wrong.
No, it wasn't Marigold, but you were close. Magnolia. I mean,
And is that a flower?
no, they're two holes in the Masters.
What?
Marigold and Magnolia. They're two of the holes in the Masters tournament.
Which are named after the flowers they plant on them.
Correct.
See, it is a flower. I'm right.
It is a flactor. It is
Thank
a
you.
flactor.
Thank you. A
Flower.
flactor.
Flactor. Flower.
So, all right, folks, thanks for joining us again. Enjoy your weekend. Spring is upon us. I think it was 58 degrees today. Let's
I love it.
keep the good weather coming. Let's get into competition season. Let's see everybody out there. Say hello when you see us. Let us know what you think about Kids Q. I really like to hear your opinion if you'd like to meet some of those teams and have them on the show.
Yeah, if you have any ideas, like what kind of format you would like to see it in, throw it our way, man, because that's what we have to think about is how we're going to present, the kids to really exhibit their talents and what they like to do. And
We'll have to get rid of the booze.
ooh, all right, we're not doing Kids Q anymore.
So any other
Sorry,
ideas?
kids.
I heard kitty cats are cooking barbecue these days. How about the feline barbecue competition?
That close. We're that close to Kids Q. Ah, well. When you're 21, come back. We'll put you on.
All right, folks.
Fun
Thank you very much. Peace. Have a good week.